my dad. It was a little bit worrying when he turns up in his Corvette and there was a blonde floozy sitting next to him, and I'm knowing what he's like, I'm like, oh Dad, what have you done? Then I realised it was my sister. So. Anyway, before we go on with the speech, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's come here tonight. People have travelled from far and wide. You know, we have Fiona now from Holland and Germany. And John's come down from Lincoln, and you know, Roy's come from Birmingham, so you know, all you guys really appreciate that.
Thank you for inviting us.
No problem at all. Yeah, my mum will come around and charge the entrance fee a little bit later. But yeah, you know, thanks for all your help putting this together. I want to say a special thank you to Mick and Sharon. As anyone who's ever met Mick knows, he is the most unbelievably hard-working man that ever walked the face of the earth. It's quite a funny story, really. It's quite a funny story. On Friday morning when we turned up, I had the spare wheel in the back of my Range Rover and I was trying to blow it up, and I've been stood there for 5 minutes, and I was going to Mick, I've had it going on for 5 minutes, it doesn't blow up. And he came over and he looked at me, and then he flipped over the little lock that locks it onto the top and went, you stick to your computer, son, I'll do the rest. I just want to say Fred Branson can't be here today, but he sends his regards, and also I'd like to make a very special announcement for almost 99-year-old lady who's here tonight. It's pretty weird. If you think about it, if you say I'm going to see my son's 70th birthday, that's pretty incredible. So, well done, Mimi. I think you're easily going to make 3 figures. So, congratulations. I'd like to also mention our Uncle David, who can't be here tonight. Obviously, he's battling his illness up north, and you know, our thoughts go out to him, and you know, we love him dearly, so it's a shame he can't be here tonight. Also, I think it was quite interesting tonight, as my dad pulled in, you saw a great example of joy turning to fear. Because he turned up and he was all smiles, and then I think Keith it was shouting, I don't know what you're smiling at, you're paying for this. And finally, I want to make a thank you to, obviously, those people who helped us get the pictures together. Danny and Sharon, Mr. Blows, and everybody, you know who you are. Thanks for helping us out on that. That's fantastic. And also, thank you to my phenomenal mother and long-suffering wife, this man here. She's always in the background and you know, works harder than anyone in the world. So, Mum, I love you to death, and thanks for all your hard work. Actually, I forgot 2 last thank yous as well. Thank you to Keith, obviously, who's always around helping us out here, and has done lots of work with the sign out there, and you know, bringing his car over, and he's just always there to support us as a family. So Keith and Sue, we love you as well, so thank you very much. And last but not least, thank you to our neighbours, our fantastic neighbours, Ricky and Sarah. You know, we love you to pieces. You know, I wouldn't be able to mow my garden without you, because I'm always borrowing your mower. So yeah, you're the best neighbours in the world, and thanks for supporting us and letting us have a great time tonight. People asked me tonight if it was wise to surprise a 70-year-old. But I generally have an angle in life on everything, and my view was, it goes one of 2 ways. We either have a great night with the old boy, or he carks it right there and then. I'm in the inheritance. I told that to someone, and someone said the apple doth not fall far from the tree. So,
The only trouble is he doesn't know he's the only son I've got.
Was the milkman ginger? He was, wasn't he?
Strawberry blonde.
Strawberry blonde, yeah. Auburn flame. If you could describe your father, how would it be? I think all of you know him, and I've heard it a couple of times around here tonight. It's his laughter. It's unbelievable. It sounds like a mating camel, like crossed with a pterodactyl. It's like nothing you've ever heard before. And I say that because some of the fondest memories of my life when I was growing up were, well, it was unbelievable. I used to lay in bed at the bottom of the end of the house, sorry, bottom end of the house, and about 60 strange men would arrive every 2 weeks on a Monday night, and they would all come in and come into the living room and sit in there, and they would all be watching drag racing movies and admiring each other's facial hair. And
I like strange men.
But I don't know what it says about me, but I find it very secure when I have lots of men sleeping or talking just down the road from where I'm sleeping. But that's something to do with that, anyway. That is true. Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, and I also, it was very difficult at school because like, my mum and dad, they used to have these parties. And I was just see, some people are way ahead of me. Mike, yeah, I could ruin you. I've seen you dressed as a nun with suspenders. We won't go there. But I was a little, like, sort of 5-year-old boy wandering around, and there were like Vickers and tarts and all sorts going on. And people would ask, what did you get up to at the weekend? What did you do? Everybody in the class, tell us what you did. And I'd be like, I watched my mum and dad get 75 people into a jacuzzi and then all take their clothes off. But anyway, I wanted to say quickly about some of the things that make this man the man he is, and what he did for me as a young man, and the way he educated me. And first of all, I thought, he was being there for your children's an important thing of being a father. So, I remember saying to him, Dad, Bobby screams and shouts and cries. Was I like that? And you just looked at me, smiled and went, I don't know, I couldn't hear you from Centre Pod Raceway. And then I thought, bravery. That's a really good fatherly trait. Bravery. Yeah, my dad's brave. And then I remembered that when I was little, I used to go out to work with him in the summer holidays. I used to wear my full-on Massey Ferguson overalls and go out there, little mini-me, stand next to my dad, who's like the apple of my eye, a brave man that he is. And we turned up out by this combine harvester one day, and I was like, oh wow, I'm going to get to work on a combine. And he goes, looked a bit nervously, and he goes, son, can you just jump out, grab a monkey wrench and just slide underneath that combine there? I was like, oh yeah, all right. So I slid under there, and he goes, shouts under there. He's still in the car, he hasn't got out of the car, he's wound the window down. He goes, bang it 3 times on the axle as loud as you can. I'm like, okay, all right then. So I'm like, boom, boom. So I get to the 3rd one, I start hearing the squealing as about 1 million rats start falling out of the combine. All I can hear is the sound of a window being wound up. And then it gets worse. I thought, yeah, leading by example. I was like, oh yeah, my dad leads by example, doesn't he? So I remember the time he came back from work and he was a bit nervous, and he sort of said to me, I can't believe what happened today, it was amazing. What apparently he'd happened was he'd been working on a job one night, and he'd been working in some stables, and there was a horse in there, and you know what's coming. there was a horse tied up in there, and he was working on a job, and you know, being out in the farms, he suddenly got caught short, and he was like, oh! So he was like, he backed up into the corner, and basically did his business. And then he drove off, and he came home, and then he hadn't finished the job, so he had to go back the next day. So he came back the next day, and when he got there, it was like a crime scene. He goes, there was like two vets vans, the farmer was there, and they were looking at the horse, and the guy had his hand right up its backside, and he's going, what's going on here then? And they went, well, we're not sure, but you don't think he's very well. Look what he did last night. How can I follow that? I'm not going to rip you anymore. I just want to say, you know, you and I, you know, you have been like an incredibly strong, sort of supportive father. I grew up and I never ever wanted for anything, but you never spoiled me, and you taught me the value of money, and you taught me how to... You did. Yeah, I earned it. So it was like, wash the car, cut the grass. It was only free. But, you know, you have done so much for Gemma, me, and our family, and you are one of the hardest working people I've ever met in my entire life. And I hope that I will be half the father that you were to me, to Bobby. And, you know, it's a pleasure to call you my dad, and I love you to pieces. So.
Thank you, Robert. I can't really follow that. But good to see everybody here. I'm well pleased to see everybody. And the shock on my face must have been when I came around that corner. I nearly drove straight out again. But it's good to see everybody's made it here from... Yeah. Good to see everybody's made it. The only thing is, I just want to tell Robert that he's out of the inheritance. Gemma's getting it now. Yeah, I mean, whoever put this together, I mean, I don't know who did it, but there's so much of you involved. I want to thank you very much for doing it for us, and you know, it's absolutely fantastic. What a surprise, and to see everybody here enjoying themselves, and we look forward to the Beach Boys coming up with the music now. They're out there now, so we look forward to that coming along in a little while. And I just want to say thank you to everybody for helping out. Thank you.